Hi and welcome to Sven's Bricks. My name is Sven and in this video I'm going to be doing a retrospective review of set number 6496, the Time Cruiser's Whirling Time Warper. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the theme, Time Cruisers was arranged, only lasted a couple of years from 96 to 97. I didn't really go through full Dark Ages. I always had Lego around, but I didn't buy new Lego during those years. So Time Cruisers isn't really a theme that I personally have a lot of attachment to or a lot of knowledge about. But I saw this set recently, secondhand obviously, and picked it up. I was fortunate enough to get both a box and a manual for it. So I thought I would have a look at it. It's a peculiar theme, and a bit of a cult theme. There's a lot of people that really love this theme. I think those who had this theme as children particularly really love this theme. And I think, to be honest, there's a lot to be said for the theme as well. So let's have a look. So this particular set came out in 1997. It came with 140 pieces and 2 minifigs. This is Professor Millennium and a ghost figure. And this was actually in the second batch of releases for this theme, because the first batch, I believe, only had protagonists, and in the second year of the theme they started to release these antagonist sets. So this set actually doesn't contain any of the good guys, it's only the bad guys, and it's a transportation vessel of some kind for Professor Millennium to travel through time and to cause mischief. I thought I'd begin with just having a quick look at the figures, as they're quite straightforward. So this is Professor Millennium. He comes with a printed knight torso, nothing on the back of that one, and he also uses one of the faces that was originally introduced in one of the knight themes. And then he comes with a pilot hat or a policeman's hat, and then these little lapels on his shoulders. So a bit of a mismatch figure, but as you will see soon, it's a bit of a mix-match theme. The ghost is pretty straightforward. I think the only real difference here is that he actually comes with white legs. A lot of the ghosts that came in the knight sets came with white 1x2 bricks instead. So that's nice that they included white legs with him, and he comes with a suitcase and a little glass. And of course he glows in the dark, which is super cool. Now moving on to the build itself, you may notice that there's a lot of mix-match parts on this. It's the whole theme is like this, to be honest with you. For example, this set with a mast and a grey boat hull. It's kind of a mixture of classic space and pirate and some knight stuff. So this set, for example, comes with these red masks or head pieces that sat on the classic dragons. But then we've also got these nice gold bugles that came in some of the Western sets. This particular set doesn't have a lot of the classic space parts to it really, other than the colour. But as you may have seen a little bit, it has quite a lot of movement to it. If I just pull this a little bit, you can see how much of this moves. So we have these bobbing skeleton heads at the back here, which go up and down. And then we have the dragon heads at the front, which go up and down. We have dragon wings at the back, which go up and down. We have a propeller that spins on the back. And then I'll come back to this. We have this cylinder here as well, which spins. So there's quite a lot going on here when you move this ship. My kids really loved building this one and then playing with it because it moved so much afterwards. So got a lot of excitement going on. So I've already mentioned the dragon heads. We've also got dragon arms here, which are holding this crossbow. So we've got one on each side holding the crossbow. Comes with a small bat, and then it also comes with these fire pieces underneath here. So I believe that the idea was that the fire here heated all of this magicalness in here, and that was the fuel for Professor Millennium to go back in time, or to go forward in time with. On the back here we have a couple of wheels where you can see how the mechanism is done, and all of that is attached to the propeller, so that spins and helps to propel him into the future. So unusually for a Lego set, they included a lot of pieces to go inside this cylinder. And I can just quickly show you just how many pieces that actually is. So that is all the pieces that are supposed to go into the cylinder. I mean, you just wouldn't get that in a modern set now, not with that quantity. You would probably get 4 small pieces and then maybe 1 or 2 of these. That's a lot of small parts, so my little boy's eyes lit up when he saw all those parts. Finally, just have a little look at the box and the artwork here. So it's got a fairly standard picture on the front here, the old classic Lego system logo. And on the back, I was a bit surprised actually that there weren't alternative builds on the back, but we do have a couple of different angles of the ship. And then here it just shows you a bit of what's included in the cylinder. So Professor Millennium, he just sits in there, and then we can close the little cockpit piece there. I forgot to mention that he's actually sat in a bathtub. Yep, he's actually sat in a bathtub. Let me show you. So that is the bathtub in the instructions, and then it is built around the wheels, so you end up with that kind of as the base of the model. I mean, totally hilarious, to be honest. And I think that's actually what makes this theme quite so special, is that they were very, very unusual looking sets, and they used some really inventive parts in order to make these sets. So I think that the reason that there's so much nostalgia and why they've become such cult sets is because it was just balmy, wasn't it? Just a totally balmy, crazy theme, because of the mix match of parts and previous classic themes in the sets as well. But then also, I mean, I don't think that this set is alone with the amount of action features that it has. I mean, these heads, they even turn around as I push the model, so they not only bob up and down, but they actually turn around. As you can see, they slowly turn around. So there's an awful lot here to keep a child happy. Saying that, they're not exactly pretty sets. They're not the kind of sets that make you go, wow, look at that set. And I think a lot of the newer sets maybe have lost some of this playfulness. Not all of them, but some. It was definitely an interesting set for me to pick up. Certainly not a theme that I've ever really looked at before. I think you can pick up this particular set for around €30 on the second-hand market. Not too bad, maybe even a bit cheaper if you're lucky. But I will be keeping my eye out for good prices on this theme. I think it's just a crazy theme, and I like the craziness, and I like the humour I think behind the theme. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.